This isn't about daddy issues. This is about spiritual inheritance. You didn't need another man to tell you he loved you. You needed another man to prepare you. If you're still bleeding from soft lineage, it is your duty to cauterize the wound and build something different. If this hits, stick around. And if you're ready to break patterns and build within law from scratch, join the compound where we train men just like you. This video is really about spiritual inheritance. This is not about your father not or beating you and leaving you. No, this is about the indecision from what he should have done for you to prep you for the time that you're going up against right now. Like we said in the past video, this time currently that you're going through is about spiritual warfare. Nothing else, nothing less. Passivity is spiritual. It's not a behavior, right? And that's number one. This whole thing, this is spiritual. This is not about the behaviors and the mannerisms that you picked up from your father. No, the indecision that you are facing, that you continue to face and have always faced, is because it was spiritually given to you by him. Like we said in yesterday's video, there's a physical realm and there's a spiritual realm, right? And they're basically on top of each other. So whatever you're doing in the physical realm, you are also doing in the spiritual realm. So if your father is indecisive in any realm of his life, he's passing that on to you as his seed. And you then are living a life in confusion, in this thing called processing. He hesitates to speak, lead, make hardcore decisions, step in law, live his truth. You then live in a world watching a man emasculate himself because he's not allowing his truth to come out into the world by him making this decisive decision to listen to the voice that he knows he has and stand firm on it. And therefore, you watch that year after year after year, and sometimes you don't watch it at all because that nigga don't exist in your life because he's not around. But you watch that over and over and over and over and over. And so what does that happen? What happens? Not only is it a behavioral mannerism thing that you then say, okay, that's my father and that's what I should do. Okay, he's doing that. Yep, let me follow that. Yep. Great. Now you're an adult and you don't know what the fuck to do because you never watched your father model what it means to be a divine masculine, what it means to be a man, what it means to be a spiritual warrior. And if you don't understand the pulls, the tugs, the pitfalls, and where you are stagnating, in other words, processing how to operate as a man, you are going to lose this fucking war. And you're going to end up in a place of regret at an older age. Hey, you might die young, but you will be in confusion up until that date. It doesn't matter if he was absent or not, because this is not about his presence or absence. This is about him being indecisive. And those non-decisions still haunt you to this fucking day. Point number 2, presence doesn't equal power. Just because he was in the house does not mean that he was powerful and showed you how to be powerful. A man can exist and not be the mirror. He could be the man in the house, but not the man in the mirror, the man who refines himself, the man that looks at himself spiritually, the man that also looks at what's going on around him to protect himself and his tribe from all of the fuckery that may try to penetrate. And so that silence within your household, that while you were growing up, then means that you'll have a shit ton of chaos in your mind, because silence in a household just means that there's chaotic shit going in the brain, right? And the spiritual realm is eating them alive. And if he's not vocalizing and making action and putting those thoughts into emotion, into action, into creating the reality better for himself, for his wife, and for his child, therefore you are in now this stagnation and this chaotic spiritual place where everyone's feeling it, you included, you, the child, included. And so you grow up and now you do the same shit, because now all you know is that your father never made the right decision. What is the right decision? Your father wasn't there to show you exactly how to manage what's right from wrong, dependent on the voice that's within you. I don't know exactly where I should go and how I should do things because he never did it that way. So now you're a grown-ass man lost in a spiritual war, and you cannot afford to be lost in warfare. I promise you, strays might hit you, right? The enemy might overtake you. And now you think you're a part of them. Now you're on the wrong side of the fucking field, my friend. You cannot afford to walk this war blind. What probably happened is that he's in the household, but you never really felt the power because of his indecision. So he avoided the conflict. A lot of men do this shit where they avoid the confrontation of what truth brings. But the reality of it is, what you want to do is bring truth to the surface and see what the fuck happens next. And deal with it. Because if it's true and it's the truth, and you're following the universal laws that you have to abide by in this realm, the truth is the only thing that matters, nothing else. And you, by avoiding that confrontation, you are inevitably going against the universal laws, which then means what? They are coming for your ass in one way or another. The universal laws have to be followed in this realm. They have to. And we can go into depth in another video, but they must be followed. So if you don't see that confrontation because truth was never brought to the surface and a decision was never made, because you can decide to tell truth, live by truth, or live the lie. You just need to pick a side, because if you don't, you're gonna get fucked. And now you're raising a generation that doesn't even know what the fuck power looks like. So now you're lost in spiritual warfare and anything can come for you, like we said a second ago. So presence, just because you're physically there, does not mean that you are spiritually there and giving the inheritance of what you should have to your child or your offspring. You must make a decision. The next point here, you didn't need a dad. You needed a sword. This is what you needed. You needed a sword, not a dad. Fuck the dad piece. What the fuck is a physical man gonna do for you? Absolutely nothing. That physical man needs to train you. You needed proper training. If you ever see how people train, they are actively doing and making decisions as they are training themselves for whatever the fuck comes their way. So you needed your dad to show you how to wield the sword, right? And therefore he needed to make hardcore decisions with that sword of truth and law within his life so that he showed you that you must follow this. You needed the preparation that the training that your dad never showed you. That is exactly what you need. You don't need more affection. You don't need any coddling. You don't need to be told that the world is harmful and you should play it safe. You don't need risk management. You need training on how to wield your sword of truth and law, to live your life according to what you need to become. This soft ass fucking mindset that your parent, your father, instilled in you weakened the boundaries of you as a man. And that weak boundary, those weak boundaries then created a confused man. Confused boy, confused teenager, confused young adult, confused fucking man. And so now, again, people are walking around in this realm not knowing left from right, stumbling over fucking decisions that they don't know are right or wrong. Don't know how to wield the power that they have. Don't even know how to identify gifts that are given to you to help your time here. Because I want you to know you have a gift, but if you can't hear it because you don't know what truth is to you, and you don't even know how to take that truth and then cut your realm, cut your existence, cut the illusions of your reality so that it gives you exactly what that truth would expose to you, then you're not gonna know what the fuck to do. And now you're confused. And now you're making wrong decisions. And now those decisions that you're guessing are ruining your life, digging you into a deeper hole. You don't know how to get the fuck out the hole because you don't know how to wield the sword. So now you're in a spiritual warfare back to back to back to back to back every single year, back to back. And the war is whooping your fucking ass because you're confused. You don't know what to do. You don't even know tactics to help yourself. And then what do? You follow mainstream media because Lord knows that you're dying inside, but you don't want to look weird to people, so you just follow what the fuck they give you. What they give you is basically giving you a damn shovel to build your grave, buddy. And so you just follow these rules from other confused, chaotic men that never got truth and law to show them how to live the life. This is not about daddy issues. This is about the spiritual warfare that you are about to fucking lose and be stuck forever. Not one time, no, forever, buddy. You don't get out of this once you lose. You must catch yourself, because a man without a sword is a spectator. Too many fathers raised watchers and not warriors. And then you wonder why the world is so fucked up. the biggest key point out of this whole conversation. Legacy isn't blood, it's law. Legacy is law. What you're teaching your children, the input you give them. This has nothing to do with blood. Legacy is law. My legacy, the legacy that I am living currently through truth and law, will reign years, decades after I'm dead, reigning through men that listen and heard. Those who have ears will hear the message and operate it and implement it into their life. This is codes that you can implement into your life to change the trajectory of where you are going. You cannot sit here and play like you are not hearing the words that is coming out of my mouth and it's hitting you. Once it hits you, it's going to rattle you. Once it rattles you, it changes your whole fucking ecosystem, because this is about the law of the way that you should be living your life, and that is the legacy. So if your parent, father, is giving you legacy that does not sharpen you and just softens you because now you're indecisive and confused, he didn't give you shit. Because legacy is done by example. I must show you how to do it. I'm going to give you the code, but I live by it so that you can see how it works. No man, like we said yesterday, can save you from you. You must take the law, code it into yourself by watching other people who code it, not just speak it. Because it's one thing to speak it, and that's why videos will hit different if you watch them long enough. People who just speak the code but don't live by the code, you feel the difference. The presence is different. The power is different. So when you speak these codes out, when you hear them and you try to regurgitate them, just live them. You don't need to speak if you're already implementing them in your life. And that's where your father fucked up. He did not live by example so that you could learn. Your DNA does not give you the power that you're looking for. Your DNA doesn't give you the spiritual understanding that you're looking for. Your DNA doesn't open up the core parts of you. So don't just think, oh, I was born by a big strong man on the outside, but he was really a pussy hole on the inside. Didn't know how to fucking hear himself and couldn't operate in no spiritual war and was confused as fuck. Don't think just because he got a fucking masculine frame, he looked the shit, but he don't walk the walk, that you just have it in your DNA. Oh, I'm gonna be a macho man. I'm tall, I'm big, I'm this, that, the third. No, you're a bitch. That's what the fuck you are. In a clown suit. You're mimicking and masquerading around here like you some big macho shit, but then realistically you're confused in the fucking brain. You don't know your left from your right. You make wrong decisions all the time that dig you deeper in a ditch, and now you're losing a spiritual war, and now you're confused as fucking in a dying regret. Shut the fuck up. You don't know fuck all about anything. So when the code hits you, apply it immediately. Because the one question you should ask yourself is, if I were to live with my son right now, would he pick up weakness, passivity? Or would he pick up my legacy, which should be followed with law, truth, and power? You have to ask yourself that. If you have a son, will he be passive or a power, war-ready child to grow up into a man, to be ready to deal with spiritual warfare? Because this world is only getting worse. The war is only gonna get worse. It doesn't just dissipate and go away forever. No. Your child's gonna have to deal with the fucking sins that you didn't confront. And worse, if he has to live through that confusion, it may destroy him completely, and you'll have no fucking legacy, let alone if he survives the physical realm. And so that brings me to the next point. We're getting there, we're almost there, relax. You're either cleaning karma or repeating it. You're either cleaning the karma that your parent gave you, or you're going to repeat it. And now this is for the men that I'm talking to you now. You need to deal with the karmic shit that he left on you by breaking it. And we've spoken about this already in like 2 videos ago. The karmic loop, the survival fucking template, whatever you want to call it, that shit that your parents gave you, you have to stop it. Stop it now, because when you live this life, in this realm, you're either living to stop karmic loops, or you're just gonna continue living them out and passing it on. Generational curses, spiritual loops, right? These karmic loops don't just dissipate just because now it's a new generation and you have clean blood. No, bloody. Buddy, your fucking bloodline is trashed with fuckery and a lot of it. right? Karmic residue sits in every bloodline. And if you're not careful, you're going to repeat the same mistakes that you hate when you watched it as a child. You probably didn't like it because at that age you were a little bit more innocent and tender to the bloodline bullshit. And so you saw it, you could spot it out a little bit easier. But then you grew up in it and you understood that, okay, this is what works. This is how it works. Okay, great. I'm going to follow suit. Until you're a grown ass man in the middle of spiritual warfare saying, oh shit, this is not, why am I repeating the same shit? Why? Fuck, this is not good. Because you're not taking your life serious and stopping the karmic loop that continues to trap your bloodline. Your bloodline's dirty as fuck. You need to clean the sewage. And a lot of men are living this unconscious loop over and over and over. Yeah, you don't like your life. Yeah, you don't like how it feels to go through the hardship. Yeah, you don't want to look like a fool, but yet you continue the habits that fuel the loop. You continue to do the things that fuel your karmic residue, your karmic debt, and your karmic loops. You continue to just do the things unconsciously or consciously and just end up in the same starting spot. You go up high as fuck because it feels good and you come crashing down. We've talked about this before. It gives a lot of dopamine, a lot of the karmic loops that you're going through in the beginning, in that first cycle, feels like great. Yeah, this is amazing. It's like drugs. But then you come crashing down and then what? You're losing parts of yourself and you're cracking. You're not cracking into your voice. You're cracking and shattering your voice completely until it dissipates and is gone forever. And then you have to come back and do this shit all over again. So you have to take the time to realize where your bad habits are lining up and putting you in place to repeat the same cycle that you hate. This is a rhythm thing. And once you catch the rhythm of the bullshit, it's like, oh shit, let me break it. Let me stop moving at that rhythmic pace. Let me stop those bad habits. Let me switch up the way I do certain things. Let me watch the things that are not working for people and do the opposite. Let me go study. Let me go study these videos that make sense in law and code. And if I apply them, maybe I might get a different outcome. But then you realize when you do apply them, your life goes to shit because your life is already shit. And to get rid of the shit, it must be destroyed. The life as you know it must be destroyed. There can be no residue left going into the new person that you want to become. I'm not telling you because I'm guessing. I'm telling you because I go through it all the time. This isn't a thing where, hey, I got over the karmic debt or the karmic loop that my father implanted. But I just want you to understand that there's more karmic loops that you're probably doing that you don't even realize just yet because you didn't take the time to analyze them. Every new season that you get into, there's going to be some sort of karmic residue that comes from getting into that season. It's just what it is. You're going to have to live, learn, overcome yourself at every checkpoint in life. It doesn't just stop because you got over one. No. Can you get over the one and maintain that pace so that you can see the new things coming at you? And let me tell you something. When you start to learn how to operate in this spiritual war, this doesn't mean that you're invincible. Now you just can spot and see things. But again, life is going. You're living a physical realm as well. You have emotions. Do not get it fucked up when I say your thoughts create your emotions create your actions create your reality. Just because you can identify the order of operations and the flow of how things work doesn't mean that you're not going to have human emotions that will get to you. Let me give you a scenario here. Someone dies. You're at an emotional weak spot. You might be fucked up for a bit. You might have had crazy momentum, but that person then dies that was close to you. It rattles your emotions and your spiritual realm. And you're just like, fuck. And then that's where the sniper comes to take you out. So it's not that, oh, I'm invincible in this war. No, it's that you're getting equipped with the proper tools and sword wielding so that when the attack comes, even when you're weak, you know that that's what that is. And you don't then automatically go into another loop just on purpose. No. And does it happen to some of us? Sure. You're not invincible. right? You're susceptible to bullshit, but how quickly can you get into the bullshit and then get right the fuck back out? if you do get in there, right? And that is the thing that your father probably missed by being passive. That confrontation, that power, that urge to fight bullshit, that urge to fight lies, illusions, and things that sway you off of your alignment. Misaligned pieces come at you when you're at your weakest point. And sometimes, hey, you're at the highest point, and that also lowers your field because you think you're invincible when you're not. So you get blindsided. So you need to be able to have these habits in place, these systems and checks in place, so that when things come at you at the opposite ends of the extreme in your emotional and spiritual state, that you can stop all of the incoming bullshit. And if the bullshit penetrates your armor, you can easily deal with your wound and continue on the war. And if you got this far, I need you to do one thing. I need you to hit that fucking like, subscribe, and comment something that you learned right now and that you're going to implement through using this code. And I promise you, your life will change. But so this point right here will tie it all together. It starts with you. It starts with you. Most important part, it starts with you. Nothing changes if nothing changes. You won't change unless you make the change. You have to make a conscious decision to understand that, yes, I went through some bullshit. Yes, I may not have had the teacher to show me. Yes, I may not have the legacy passed down to me because my father did not show me the way. Yes, I'm in a spiritual warfare and I am slightly confused. Yes, I'm in a chaotic fucking world that feels like it's hopeless and I feel like I don't know where the fuck I'm going. But let me tell you this right now. You yourself have the power to rewrite the legacy that you give on to your child. It doesn't have to end with bullshit continuing to surround your bloodline. You can clean the flood pipes. And yes, is it going to be unfair? Sure. Is it going to be tough? Sure. Are you going to feel like you don't want to do this shit some days? Sure. Is it going to weigh heavy on your shoulders because someone has to stop it and it has to be you so that you don't pass it on to your kids? Yes. But once you get through it, it becomes easier because you now have the resources to identify what is going on in your life. And I promise you, once you put the fucking glasses on to see now, you can stop bullshit from coming your way. You can spot it, avoid it. All you have to do now is worry about the low lows and the high highs, because when you walk in normalcy and you're just cruising through life, you're going to be able to be unstoppable because you've trained yourself enough now to confront all of the things that every other man in your bloodline has refused to. And it gives you the opportunity to be the one who changes the trajectory of your entire bloodline. Not just you, your children's children. Because now, if this is not about money, bitches, cars, expensive luxury hotel, this is not about none of that bullshit. This is about the good habits that will be passed down. The showcasing by example, the war training from you fending off and cleaning the karmic loops that your parents gave onto you. This is all about systems and codes and law that you will pass on to your bloodline for generations to come by being the person of example. You must get to this point because this world is going in a direction that you do not want to go. And if you want to go there, by all means go. This is not fucking for you. But to those that can recognize where the loops start, how they can end, because usually how they start is how they end. Someone has to make a decision, and the person is you. You have the keys, you have the codes. And if you are a man that resonated with this deeply, hit the fucking link in the description, because the compound objective you is where we train men just like you to become warriors of this spiritual realm that operate outside of this system that is entrapping so many men. You do not want to be emasculated because you are confused. I'm not your father, but I lead by example. I'm going through the same shit I'm talking about every single day. It's a law you must live by. If this didn't resonate with you at all, argue with your mom so that she can explain to you your bullshit.
Boy, Mr. Brown.